Good morning, everybody. We're a little out of order today, but it's all good. So, first of all, I'd like to invite everybody to the Global Summit that's happening October 25th. It's a Friday. It's the whole day thing from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And there's going to be a lot of good information. As you all know, recently in the last, I think it's been a month now, I did take my global trade mission trip to Taiwan, and it was quite an experience. And I did also get my CIPS certification, so I'm going to start delving into the international market eventually, which is kind of cool. And so I urge everybody to please sign up. Come, it's a member benefit that we are providing to our association members. It's $10 per person if you're a member and 20 if you're not. But it's definitely something to help educate yourself in the international market, because guess what? We're not just limited to California anymore. So it's, well, our license is, but our business isn't. So let's expand our business and let's get successful in our own business. Another thing that I am proud to present to our association as a member benefit. This is a sample of our new pamphlet, and they're going to be printed out in the next week or so. But we now offer our mental wellness program. So if you have any difficulties, because real estate industry is a hard industry to break into. You're not going to get a sale every month sometimes when you're starting. So, and even down the line when you have more competition coming down, it kind of gets stressful. And if you need someone to talk to, we now provide a member benefit to everyone to go ahead and give somebody a call. Sometimes you might not want your peers or your family to know what you're going through. Here's an anonymous. You can talk to somebody, and you can save yourself for sometimes. I'm just saying, because back earlier this year we did have a young YPN realtor that took her life because of the stress. So it is a serious thing. It's something that is kind of shoved under the rug sometimes, but we need to bring it to our awareness that there is help out there for everybody. So we are now providing that member benefit, and so I am proud to share this with everybody. Next on my list, we with politics, with the governor up there signing stuff against us every day. There was another thing that it's on his desk right now. On Monday, I was actually at Walmart, and they had signature gatherers for rent stabilization and also reduction of property taxes. At least that's what they were telling people. And I'm a little smarter than a lot of people out there, but not to toot my own horn, but I actually read that and found out the rent stabilization is the signature gathering to put it on the ballot to give statewide rent control. So they are spinning it in a different way to help reduce taxes for renters, which we all know that's a falsity, but that's what they're spreading out there. So we need to be active out there on that. And then also the lowering the property taxes. When you read through that petition, it's removing Prop 13 and 60 and 90. So if you all don't know about 60 and 90, that's when you, as a parent or grandparent, can transfer your property over to your children, or grandchildren, and they're looking to remove that from our state legislative. So if you're out there, please don't sign those petitions. They're against what we stand for as private property rights, and educate your clients about all this stuff that's happening, because we're going to be starting our own initiative to bring back, like Nick said last week, Prop 5, which is it's going to be called different this time around. And then also, I'd like to bring up our guest, Lee Lieberg, who's going to be introducing someone from the city of Alhambra to speak about some projects that are going to be happening in the city of Alhambra.
Thank you, Giuseppe. So all of you who've been here and been paying attention know that we already have rent control. And what they're trying to do is put a little more teeth into it. And those are the guys that are standing out in front of the markets these days, so please don't sign those petitions. But that's not why I came up today. Today, as you know, from about 2008, 2009 on, we have not built enough housing units. It was cheaper to buy than to build, and there was no incentive for developers to come in and build. It led to a terrible, terrible housing shortage and housing crisis, and that's what we've been dealing with now. Well, I think it was Rahm Emanuel said, never let a good crisis go to waste, and the politicians are definitely not letting this crisis go to waste. And what they're doing is they're attacking property owners' rights, and part of that has to do with what you can do with your own property, what you can build on your own property, how you can use it, what you could charge in rents, things like that. So we've been under attack for the last 2 or 3 years, pretty good, as Giuseppe said. So in Alhambra, we've got a project. Well, and just to tie in one more point, as realtors, California Association of Realtors and National Association of Realtors, we've been pushing for supply. We say it's an economic 101 type of problem. If you don't have the supply, the prices are going to go up. If you want the prices to come down, increase the supply. But those trying to build and those trying to increase the supply have been attacked by NIMBYs, people that show up at the meetings, the council meetings, they attack them. And so the developers now are starting to do a little more outreach. Well, we've got a developer in Alhambra. It's at the Alhambra, it's the Wayne Rakovich group. And today with us we have the senior development manager from the Alhambra, the Rakovich company. And her name is Megan Moloughney. And she's going to tell you a little bit about what they're proposing in Alhambra. It's the old C.F. Braun location, if you remember that, Mission and Fremont. So they've developed a lot of restaurants and things like that. It's going to be a real nice walkable project, but I won't steal her thunder. So please help me give a warm welcome to Megan Moloughney.
Thank you, Lee. Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for having me this morning. As Lee said, my name is Megan Moloughney. I'm the Senior Development Manager for the Rakovich Company. We are an urban developer. We've been in business for about 40 years. Wayne Rakovich is the owner of the company. He was actually raised in Alhambra, so his heart is there, and the project that I'm going to be speaking to you about today, we've owned for 20 years now, so we've had a foothold in the community for quite some time. We're an active business member of the community, an active participant. I know Lee through the Chamber of Commerce. I'm on the board there, and we've held positions in the past, among other organizations within the community. So again, I thank you for having me, and with that, I will go ahead and get started. So what we're proposing today is development called the Villages at the Alhambra. And what we're trying to achieve here, I'll start off with our vision, is we've got a beautiful, just under 40-acre campus located at Fremont and Mission. A lot of you have probably driven by those big, beautiful brick buildings, but never really been inside of the campus. We have about 1 million square feet, a million square feet of office and about 20 acres to be developed. So the 20 acres is what we're seeking to complete the vision of a fully mixed-use campus. So what we started with years ago when we purchased the property was branding it an urban community. And that was our first step towards creating and calling it this mixed-use campus of bringing the live, work, and play together. In that time, we've developed a retail center across the street where you'll see a Starbucks, Jamba Juice, Pickup Sticks, and various other retailers. That completes the component of the play, and now we're seeking to complete the component of the live. So we started with a vision. Our vision is, I'll just briefly go through this, building upon the framework of the original CF Braun campus, a new urban community has emerged in a largely commercial area. An urban neighborhood is envisioned, a place that fuses residential living with living with a rich network of landscape spaces. The best of the original campus landscape, heroic trees, elegant communal spaces, a network of courtyards will be maintained. The desire is to utilize planning, architecture, and landscape to make the entirety of the Alhambra, residential, office, and retail, merge seamlessly in a rich and sought-after place to live, work, and be inspired. So that was our vision. Next, Next, we move on to our goals and what we're trying to achieve with this project. As Lee said, we're all aware of the housing crisis that's going on. And the best way we can solve the housing crisis, or at least not solve it, but help to make it less, is to add more supply. So we're seeking to add 1,061 residential units, split almost equally between for sale and for lease product. We're phasing the project over 10 years. We have 1 million feet of office existing there. We've got tenants such as USC Medical, the County of LA, Eastern Los Angeles Regional Center, very big tenants that we can't impact their businesses, so we have to phase it appropriately. And we also want to take into consideration the community and trying to minimize any impacts that we have on everybody. Next is traffic congestion. I know that's at the top of everybody's mind, especially in that area given the 710 issues. Metro has allocated approximately $300 million in funds to go towards road improvements in that general area. That includes freeway on and off ramps, local arterials, changing to the signals on the streets to move traffic better. And then our project also has 3 different intersections where we will be doing improvements to help flow of traffic and move people around. However, the whole component of our project in creating this mixed-use campus is to get people out of their cars. Our hope is that the people that work there might be able to live there. They can shop across the street if they get hungry, or go up to the Albertsons up the street, go to Costco, go to Target. There's a lot of things within walking distance to the campus. So the ultimate goal, while we do have more housing that we're creating, is to get people out of their cars, walking around, and be more involved in the community and with each other. Next, we're creating a new neighborhood. We're not looking to impact any existing neighborhoods. We're creating a whole new neighborhood in Alhambra and are really excited about it and energizing that southwest end of the city. It is the gateway to Alhambra just down the street. So we seek to enhance the gateway and enhance the city and make it a really impressive and lovely place for people to come and create a whole new neighborhood there. As I said earlier, we're looking to promote the walkability and bringing these mixed uses together. And lastly, as a result of all of the new construction, jobs created, ultimately the new homes built, the families and the people living there coming and shopping in the city, there's a ton of property tax revenue, sales tax revenue that can be generated as a result of the project. So the bulk of that going to the schools, which they definitely would love some more families to join. Their enrollment numbers are down, so we hope to bring that back. Alhambra has a great school district, and we really want to see them thrive as they have in the past. Oops. Okay, so I mentioned a little bit about the current development. There's some photos here. We've got just under 1 million square feet of the office. We've got the retail center. We have a 50,000 square foot LA Fitness. I'm sure some of you have been there. It's one of their highest performing assets. Excuse me. And then on the east side of the campus, we'll have what we've referred to as the north parcel, the east parcel, the corner, and the south parcels. So here's an overview of what those parcels are. So the blue is the shops where the Starbucks the retail shops are. The grayed out area, the office, that will all stay the same. The east parcel will be a new parking structure for replacement parking for the office campus. And then in the orange, you see the north parcel residential. That will be the for sale product. We right now have condos and townhomes planned to go in that area. And then on the south parcel and the corner parcel will be all apartment buildings. Up on the screen, you'll see a phasing plan. As I said earlier, the project is phased over 10 years, and we're trying to be cognizant of our existing tenants as well as the community and how we phase this out. So right now, the parking structure has to be built first so we can accommodate the parking for the offices before we start doing the other. We could potentially overlap on doing some of the condo first or the apartment first. That is a possibility, but for the purposes of what's the environmental impact report that we're doing, we needed to have a baseline to go off of. So this is the proposed phasing plan as it sits. Next, as I said earlier, we wanted to create this new community, but also connect to the existing community. So this just gives an idea of how you can get in and out of the property, whether by car, by vehicle, pedestrian, bicycles. As you can see, there's lots of entry points to the project. We encourage the walkability, walking across the street. We have a lovely bridge that connects the retail to the office so people can cross over the street carefully and at any time. And then we also have on the east side of the property where most of the cars will enter and exit, so thereby diverting traffic off of Fremont off to the east side of the campus. As I said before, promoting the walkability. Above you see a context map, and this just gives an idea of where everything is in proximity to our property. Within that first circle, you see our site in blue, and as you move out, those are walking distances to various items within the community. Within a quarter of a mile, we have a host of restaurants to choose from. There's a Costco, a Target, an Albertsons supermarket, and various other stores, convenience stores, and larger department stores that you can choose from. Thereby, effectively, you can go to work one day, you could go across and get some food, you could go up the street and get your groceries, go to Target and get your toilet paper, whatever you need. Everything is within walking distance. You can ride a bike there. Anything that would promote healthy walkability, getting out of your car, getting on a bike, whatever the case may be, it's all very close by. Next are just some facts and figures about our project. This gives an idea of the breakdown between the for sale and the for lease units. We have 545 rental units and 516 for sale units. Excuse me. Currently we are on our campus, we're a LEED Gold certified campus, which means it's a designation given by the US Green Building Council. Where we are sustainable through water savings, electricity. We do everything we can to promote sustainability on our existing project and would look to do that with the new development as well. We have fuel cells that produce about 75% of our electricity currently, which is a lot for a campus of that size. We're very proud of that. And that in return reduces carbon emissions out into the world. As I said before, we've been 20 years that we've owned the Alhambra and been in that community and seek to stay there for a lot longer as well with this development. And then over the course of that time, we've reinvested about $135 million back into that property. As some of you may know that have been there, it's an older property. It was built starting in the late 40s. It's very beautiful architecture with the bricks. It's a very distinct look. And what we've done is taken that and just made it better. We brought it up to current standards, but also held on to and celebrated the older, more beautiful parts of the campus by restoring all the wood paneling in the older buildings, keeping those looking beautiful, all the marble that's in the bathrooms. So our company very much is focused on historic renovations on properties. The owner of our company is a trustee on the National Register, so we take that very seriously. And while most people would shy away from that, we celebrate it and we look to enhance it and make it what it is today. Additionally, when we took on the project, we did a landscaping renovation in 2013. There was quite a bit of turf all over. We took some of that turf out and we were able to re-landscape with drought tolerant and California native plants and we were able to reduce water consumption on the exterior by 85%, which is a huge number, and certainly coming out of the drought that we've been in was very, very important to us, and we seek to do that as we further develop the property. Next are just some other benefits that the project will bring. I've brought some of these up, but definitely promoting the walkability of the project, getting people out of their cars, getting out into the community, visiting with each other, being around, being present, preserving our beautiful our buildings that we have, but also bringing in the new and celebrating the new with the old, and really creating a very cohesive bond between the two. Designing it so that it fits with the existing and the landscape and the buildings. Making those pathways and gardens that we have at the project open to everybody so that everyone can enjoy them, whether you're a tenant at the campus or a resident in the buildings. And then again, being within the community, supporting the local businesses, walking there and shopping there. If you're an employee living there, walking up and buying your goods at the Albertsons or going to Starbucks or Jamba Juice, whatever the case may be or whatever your flavor is for the day. And here are some views of what we've designed. Again, these are current just architectural renderings, but again, you'll see how the brick has come in. The CF Bronx campus by history was an engineering firm, so we've really celebrated innovation in engineering as it has come, as it started. So we try to exude that through the use of the steel and the glass and really making it beautiful and modern, but also blending well with the existing older buildings. As you can see in the top left, we have a central round where people can come in. We envision this to be somewhat of a mobility hub. Right now, USC has a shuttle that runs there that drops off employees and students. We also have Cal State LA that has a shuttle. And then we hope to have, whether it's microtransit via Uber or Lyft, people getting dropped off, or the senior ride that comes in for Lieberg, just making it a place where it's easy for people to get into and out of. Excuse me. Some other views, these are the condo buildings on the north parcel. Again, you can see a variety of colors, textures, a tremendous amount of landscaping. We already have an abundant amount of beautiful trees and landscape at the property. We seek to just enhance that. Right now we have parking lots and old warehouse buildings with a lot of trees that are lifting roots and dying. So in doing this new development, obviously there's a code requirement for trees that we need to plant. We're seeking to go above and beyond that because we really want to transfer what we already have on the office campus out to the development and really make it a beautiful green lush place for people to live. Just some other views on the north parcel off of Orange Street. Again, these units will connect to the street, obviously be secure, but connect out to the street as well as to the interior. These are the townhomes that we envision. Again, you see the use of materials, the brick, the wood, glass, all the people walking around. We really want to encourage openness to the community as well as walkability. And lastly, I'm going to ask for your help now. We ask that you tell your clients, your friends, your family, your business colleagues about this project. We're very excited about it. We need your support. So how can you do that? We have a hotline that you can call with any questions. There's also an email address. And we will have cards that we'll be passing out. And we also have a website that you can go to learn more about the project. We have the draft EIR on there. We have notices about upcoming meetings and events. And you can also sign up as a supporter. And for those of you that want to right now, it's villagesalhambra.net. You can go on there, sign up. You'll be put on a list so that you are contacted whenever we do have events, when we do email blasts and whatnot. Right now, we're still in our draft EIR comment period until October 17th. So our goal is to get as many supporters signed up as possible. After that, when we start going to planning commission hearings, we would love for people to come and speak in support of the project. So if you're someone who's comfortable speaking, we would, by all means, love to have you there and speak out in support, because we all know the people that don't support will come and scream and stomp their feet and everything, but we would hope that we get the supporting voices this time to be a lot louder than the non-supporting voices. As I said, we will pass out cards that have the information. We have them in 4 different languages for everybody, so hoping to reach as broad a community as possible. And again, I just thank you very much for having me today and the opportunity to share this exciting project with you. And happy to answer any questions.
It really sounds great, and I'm really for it. My real question is, because I am part of that neighborhood there, the traffic is just horrendous. Without the 710 freeway, you had 1,000 units. As much as we want everybody to walk, we know that's not going to happen. It took me half an hour to clear Fremont Street from just a few blocks from Valley North, and it's not getting any better.
Right.
So in reality, you're saying they're going to expand, they're going to change the lights. Honestly, they've been saying that for some time, and my hope was that the orders for the 710, but that's not happening. So what is going to be the solution once you add 1,000 units and maybe 500 more cars?
Right. So part of our project, because we're phasing it out over time, it's not all coming at one time, which is very important for people to understand, because I think they just hear, oh, there's 1,000 units coming, oh my goodness. But it is being phased out over time, and it's actually very consistent with the growth that Alhambra has experienced in the last 10 years. As for the 710, unfortunately, that's a regional issue, but I do know with the money that's been allocated through the 710 funds to the city, there's a tremendous amount of improvements that are going to be done. I can send to Lee, I have a list of all the areas that are going to be improved. There's bridges, there's freeway on and off ramps, there's signals that are hopefully going to be moving traffic flow a little bit better. It's all going to be done in real time versus right now where they have to set it and it's not done real time per se. Along with road improvements, widenings, lane changing. So as I said, there's about $300 million coming from Metro that's allocated just for Alhambra, and most of it is concentrated in that area to help with traffic flow. There's other improvements in other cities that are also allocated to help with everything all together. And then our project with impacts that we create, we have 3 intersections where we're going to be adding in street signals as well as some restriping and everything. So unfortunately, we as a developer can't solve the problem. It would have been great to have the 710 built and move traffic through there, but there's a tremendous amount that's going to be done in that area to help things improve a little bit. Yes.
Thank you.
This developer, don't you have any input to the transportation issue? Because it sounds like you're bringing people in from USC and the other one that you mentioned. But why isn't there a timely, convenient transportation to the metro stations, whether it's off the 10 or off the 210, either cars, and not have to move them?
Yeah, so speaking from our property right now, because we have a connection to the Metro line at Cal State LA via the Alhambra Community Transit as well as Metro lines. There's 2 lines within Alhambra that run the blue and the green line. They're 25 cents a ride, very affordable, and those connect down to the Metro station. Currently, there's no direct connection to the South Mission station. That's something that I've been pushing with the city for some time. Metro is also in the process of doing what's called their next gen bus study. You may have seen emails or things in the paper about it. And what they're doing is revamping their metro system because there's ridership issues that people aren't using. So they're exploring microtransit options, which would mean maybe smaller shuttles to take people, like 10-person shuttles that would be more concentrated within a neighborhood. They're definitely talking about a connection directly to the Gold Line. They're also exploring the idea of partnering with an Uber or a Lyft to get people around better. So that's in process right now, but that's on the Metro side that I can't control. As far as a connection to the Gold Line in South Pasadena, that's something that we're working on that we can push a little bit more with the city directly. They've had just a change in director of transportation, so they have a new person in place right now, so that's on my list to meet with them and make sure that that gets done. Right now there is a connection via Metro, but you do have to go kind of jog up. Exactly. Yeah, so that's something Personally, with our development, that's something that we're pushing, and the Department of Public Works just to the north of us, they're also working with Metro on that as well to establish a connection between the campus, the Gold Line, Union Station, Cal State LA, and back to the campus. So there's things being done, it's just can't happen overnight, but there's definitely a lot of eyes in that area to make sure things improve. And we'll do our part to help what we can do to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.